What's going on this morning, Randall?
Trying to get ready to shell corn.
Oh, good. First of the year, right?
First corn we shelled, yeah. These snoots don't raise up over the fold, so we take these off for storage to make it narrower. So we gotta put these back on. So I believe we got that job done now.
So that's just these two. One
just
kind
these
of.
two. This one and the other one there.
What are these? There's some fittings in here, right?
Yeah, those have all got to be greased. This one looks like we got greased up so we can grease it. The other side I think is caught. See these when these get caught in here?
Yeah.
But I think the other side's caught, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Then we got to put our ear saver flaps back on. We took them off last fall for down corn.
It's early morning and there's a lot to do before they can actually go to the field with the combine. The day before, they were harvesting soybeans. That means that everything has to be cleaned out. Tom has to empty the semi into the grain bin so they can actually use this semi for the corn harvest.
One interesting point about these soybeans is that they are being grown for seed. They will be used by Pioneer Hybrids or Corteva for next year's seed for somewhere. Who knows? Maybe our farm. So this variety will be stored in a separate bin to avoid mixing with other varieties.
They still had some beans left in the grain cart as well. The best way to get that in the grain bin is to actually unload it into the semi-trailer and then use the auger from the semi up to the grain bin.
Right, Christy. Of course, the main reason to have to offload it onto the truck is so that they can weigh it on their scales. They accurately weigh all of the grain from every field and also keep track of which bin it goes into. One of the areas of accounting that a lot of folks probably don't think about. One of these bins may have grain from multiple fields, multiple owners. And of course, this has all got to be tracked.
Out of grease.
Just as I got here.
EPO grease for a Drago corn head.
Corn head grease.
Yep, NLGI 0.
Now notice, since he's not using a lube shuttle, he has to do this over the dumpster. Gets his fingers all greasy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get these guys converted to lube shuttle. So this is special corn head grease, Christy.
Are you joking me or is
No, it's higher temperature grease, right, Randall?
Oh.
Well, this stuff is actually thinner, and it doesn't have the clay in it, so it doesn't cake up.
Okay.
And when it dries out, it doesn't cake up. That's what Drago wants in there. Stuff to keep it freed up.
It's not unusual. I think corn head grease overall is different, not just for Drago.
Yeah.
You like that lock and lube, don't you?
Yeah, other than the places it's too long.
Yeah. Is it not primed, or is it
Oh,
just
it's
taking that
pumping.
much grease?
It's pumping. I'm watching underneath the sprocket for the grease to start showing up
Okay.
back there.
And then here, it's right here, right?
Yeah, and it makes a big mess here.
Yeah, once it comes out, it starts spurting.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not hand pumping that.
There's been a lot of pumping, wouldn't it? It really has sped up our greasing since we got electric grease guns.
Folks have often asked me why we don't have a battery grease gun, and this is exactly why. We don't do very much, and just keeping track of the battery and paying the extra amount for the grease gun and all just isn't worth it for the amount of greasing I do.
Well, we're just greasing 2 sets of the 24 on the head, where there's more on the rolls, so we got to pick it up, and then there's be 4 sets of 24 on this head, and then
So there's four fittings per row.
I think that'd be right. And then the universal joints on the drive shaft and the fold grease zerks.
12 sets of 8 plus some others, so there's maybe 120 fittings total. And you have to do these every day.
Not all of them, thankfully. Probably be better if more of them got it every day, but the main ones every day are the ones at the front of the knife rolls.
On the bottom side.
On the bottom side, right underneath here. They're just, you can see them. They're right behind this shield here on the end of the knife roll. And the bar for the wagon's just in the way to grease them while it's on the wagon. So we'll
Right.
have to grease those.
We
And
pick
then
it up
there's
with the
one
combine.
underneath, on the underneath side for the deck plate. Maybe it's ready for a combine now. We gotta raise her up so we can grease it.
Folks, we've talked a lot about putting fluid in rear tires on this channel. Specifically, we've talked about rim guard. Well, why are we so excited about rim guard? Sometimes people are a little bit nervous about putting fluid in their tires. Why would that be? This is the reason right here. This old WD-45, now it's old, you know, it's been a long time, but it's had fluid in its tires since it was new, I'm sure, and they have rusted the rim totally out. So this rim is destroyed. We've actually got a new rim outside. They just got it this week to put on it. Unfortunately, it'll have to wait till winter because, well, we got more important things to do today. But this is one of the advantages of rim guard, one of the many advantages of rim guard. It's not going to rust your rim. So you don't have the issues with calcium. That's what they've always used in the past, is a calcium chloride mix to keep from freezing, but it rusts the rim really bad. Additionally, it's no fun getting that salt water out of the tire and just having it go everywhere, and you know, it causes environmental damage and just not good at all. So a lot of people had moved away from using fluid in their tires at all. A lot of times on the farm they don't use fluid in the big tractors. But now that rim guard's here, it might change that a little bit. Certainly for the more mid-sized tractors, it's a very cost-effective solution.
It's almost time to shell corn, but we gotta feed the crew first. I brought Italian beef, potato salad, and all sorts of goodies. This is our farm, and there's a test plot here, so we're feeding the crew from Azteca as well as our family.
Our corn at home, I think.
There's not much better than fellowship and food.
Are you waiting for the crowd to die down? Is that what's going on?
Really?
Yeah. Them guys have got to eat and get to run.
This is what I do in my spare time. I cook when I'm not editing. So, orange cranberry cake and a pumpkin something or other, sugar-free. Randall's in the combine, and we're about ready to get started.
Now, Randall, we're just going out through the middle of the field.
Yeah. Seems like a silly thing to do, doesn't it?
It kind of seems odd. How do you know where we are?
Well, we're trying to get the plot opened up that
Okay.
we planted this spring. So we're trying to get around the outside of it.
Okay,
and
so these rows that we're shelling are not part of the plot.
they are not. They are right beside the plot.
Okay.
If I can stay on the right one through all the horse weeds here.
Dad always said if it'll grow horse weeds, it'll grow corn.
Well, I expect that's right. So we've got our map up here on the iPad that we can see. We can see our hybrid map there on the right-hand side, and that shows. That was our showing the split screen, showing the planting map, and then on the left is our yield map of what we're shelling right now.
Okay, so the multicolored all the way to the right is the plot.
Yeah,
And the beige color that we're seeing there is...
that's a hybrid I named Plot Mix. So after we dumped all our seed together.
Hey, we're seeing some corn now.
Look at this.
212, 198. This is kind of interesting. We came right out into the middle of the end rows here. We didn't
Yeah, and then you
start on the side.
make a mess trying to get straightened up in it. But we're going to do our best here. Can I tell? Hey, there's a doubled one right there, ain't there?
Yeah.
All right. That's what we want anyway. We don't want to go right down along the brush the first through anyway. That looked to be the right one.
That's it.
little wet here.
Going down out there, I guess a deer, I don't know.
It may be. There was some of that observed during some of our walking. That there was a good bit of deer damage out there because this was some of the earliest corn around this area.
Okay.
So it was the earliest for the deer to get in, and it was kind of by itself. And some of it may be green snap and wind and what else, but
Wow, it looks rank and good, but the yield isn't there.
well, I think the dry weather kind of hurt this. It hit it really a bad time. When it was really trying to do its thing is when we were really dry.
Yeah, this big old corn like this, I'd ought to be rolling out 200 instead of 112.
Stay tuned for the next episode. Randall, Tom, Terry, and the guys from Azteca harvest this corn plot. It's a bit different than your regular harvest, so I hope you'll come back to join us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.